everyone, this is Angelique, also known as The Light. Welcome to my channel. Please stop what you're doing. Click like on this video, share this video, comment in the comment section if you can relate to it. If you want me to continue pumping out content on this channel, you can donate. If you have a video request, you can donate $10 or more and email me at neoangie3000@yahoo.com and let me know what your video request is. If you need a phone session booking with me, you want to talk about spiritual experiences, relationships, zodiac signs, what else? How to start your healing journey, how to start your spiritual journey. I'm your girl, book me. Subscribe. Thank you to my new subscribers and thank you to my long-term supporters. All right, all that information is in the description bar and it's also in the comment section. You don't see it, comment at me and I will reply to you. I'm wearing my headpiece. My voice is like, I don't know what's going on with my voice. Sometimes it happens to me where I feel spiritually I get silenced and I just kind of lose my voice. It doesn't hurt or anything like that, but I lose my voice. I'm sure some of you go through these things spiritually when you're going through something. Okay. Um, yes, so today's topic is how the chosen ones, they don't get no credit. Chosen ones, we don't get any credit. And sometimes I feel like maybe because we are, how can I say, because we are the light and we get so much attention for just naturally having God's light. Maybe that's why God made it that way that we don't get credit. I kind of to humble us in a sense, I feel, because we do get, illuminated in so many different areas. But it's funny how we do not get credit. So it starts off very young, and mostly the chosen one grew up most chosen ones grew up in like a, a struggle or toxic dynamic in the home. And, I remember when I was a child, it starts off with like, me drawing a photo, for my mom, me drawing a picture for my mom. I'm like, look, mommy, look. Like, you want that acknowledgement, you want that attention, you want that validation, but I don't ever remember getting any kind of validation at all. But I think it does have something to do with the chosen one's walk and how we we can survive off of not what other humans get. I think it does make us stronger. And if we're supernatural, we're not supposed to need or want all the things that other people need and want, even though that I feel like that caused the chosen one to be, for a while, you get trapped in being a people pleaser, or you get trapped in relationships where you don't have your needs met, so to say. Hopefully this is a knocking, my earring is a knocking on the mic. Um, but yeah, so I noticed that chosen ones do not get the same validation as everyone else, pretty much. And you go through a people pleasing stage, you go through a codependent stage until you get into your power. So a lot of you are still in that stage and you want everyone's validation, but the truth is we really need our own validation and to tap into our own power. And the chosen one has to be very independent, um, and be different and not like need the same things or have, not have all these needs that other people have, basically. And it takes the chosen one years to tap into this power. But once we tap into this power, it's a phenomenal power to have tapped into. So, chosen ones growing up, whether, adolescents, teens, 20s, we simply don't get the acknowledgement. Anything amazing that we accomplish, people really do not make a big deal about it. And it's crazy because, on the other hand, everyone wants us to make this big deal about their accomplishments. It could be them graduating from school, getting a promotion at work, getting married. It almost seems like the chosen one has to make a big deal. So it's like they want our energy, but they never give us back the same energy at all. And people are constantly trying to use us for our energy and our validation. It's amazing how they will never give us validation, but they need and crave the chosen one's validation. And when you are doing something amazing, your support level is, you do not have the same support level. It's almost as if whatever you're doing, it's like it's just a regular day. And as far as I can remember, it's to the point, it's so crazy that, like in my late 30s, it's to the point that when I do accomplish something and people are actually supporting me, it doesn't even feel real because I've never had it. So I have to even get used to attracting people who are proud of me, to the point where it's like I've learned so much to be proud of myself, that when people are like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you. You did this. That's what's up." Da da da. I don't even believe it because my whole entire life, as his chosen one, I just didn't get that acknowledgement. Even here on YouTube, when people are like, "Oh my gosh," when they say like, "Oh, you changed my life," or "You helped me through times. I've been watched your videos." It's like I believe people, but I'd be like, "Yeah, whatever." But it feels good, but it feels like not real. It doesn't feel genuine sometimes. So it's like I'm so humble, or I don't believe it at times. So I'm sure a lot of you chosen ones can relate to this. And we just get so used to not being supported, okay? And I'm gonna give you a couple of examples. Of course, they'll support you, they'll motivate you to do, they'll motivate you to do what they want you to do. So constantly, the chosen one is gonna be labeled as lazy, dumb, um, not ambitious, not talented. But the truth is, you're completely the opposite of that. Your parents, your grandparents, whether they're toxic or not, they know, they saw from you when you were a child, like there's something different about this child. They knew that. Your friends even knew that, there's something different about you. That's why they want to be around you. They want to come to your house. They want to play with you. They're jealous of you. Like, chosen ones from day one really don't attract genuine people at all. Not just people who grew up with narcissists, but even chosen ones who didn't grow up around narcissists. This happens to them as well. So I can think back to something that was like major. I was 13 in eighth grade, and I think I've told this story before. I'm sure I've told this story because it's still a big deal to me, because it triggered, like, put a fire in me to who I am today. So I was 13, I was in eighth grade, and the Daily News is a newspaper here in New York, and they were doing a kids section where they picked a school and then they pick a student in the class to write an article, and whoever article was the best in the class would get chosen. So it was like maybe like 30, 36 kids in my class, and I got chosen. And then they did it again, and I got chosen twice. So that was really huge for me. And I was really proud of myself. And my teacher, she was the English teacher for the school. My homeroom teacher was the English teacher for the school. And she was just like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so happy. Like, your writing could be maybe something that you can do. And it's funny because, I wrote poetry. I used to write poetry. I did create a book, and I'm going to create a memoir later on, right? So writing is definitely a talent of mine. And I remember that teacher said to me back then, um, she said, "You got some haters." And, even back then, hater was like a huge thing. We said this was like 1997. I'll never forget the year. 1997 was this year. And I had this little clique, we would call like the five clique, because it was like five of us girls. And I remember like going to my crew and like, oh my gosh, guys, I got chosen. My article is gonna be in the Daily News, like the daily newspaper. Like back then, my mom had the Daily News like delivered to us. I think it's delivered like on Sunday morning or something like that. And they were all like this. Yeah, that's nice. None of my friends were happy for me. These were like my besties, my road dogs, okay? None of them were happy for me. And I was just like blown away. And the teacher saw that and she pulled me to the side and she was just like, you know, you got haters. You going places. And I'm like, what? She's like, you're going places. Years later, I do my book, 2015. I still have Facebook at the time, and that teacher from eighth grade, because she was young, she was like in her 20s back in 1997, so she's still pretty young now. And we were following each other on Facebook. And when I did my poetry book, she was like, "See, I told you we was going places." I was like, "Oh," I'm like, she's like, "Remember that conversation we had when you were a kid?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She said, "I told you." She said, "I bet you." She said, "I bet you you're not friends with those girls who were hating on you." And I said, "No, you were right." So that was even something powerful that teacher remembered me and remembered I had haters. Cause like that's pretty cool for her to even acknowledge that. Teachers, any of you who are teachers, you are amazing. Definitely pull your magical chosen one students to the side and feed life into them because they're gonna need it. But anyway, this happens very, very early on to the chosen ones. And, we do get used to it, but we have to give ourselves credit. And we just don't get that acknowledgement like everyone else. And, but yet people just want our validation. They want to energy vamp off of us. It's like they know that we're high spiritually. They know that there's something about us, but because of it, they just want to use our energy and to drain us, or they want to F up our mind and have us thinking that we're less than what we really are. It's like, I know this person is above me spiritually. And that's when the jabs come in, that's when the insults come in. And, a lot of us chosen ones, we feed into it. A lot of us don't even go after our goals because of it. There was a time for me where it was like, what's the sense of being a good student? What's the sense of getting a good job? I never get acknowledged. I'm always being used. I'm always being mistreated for being great. If you're that chosen one, you better stop that shit right now. Be the best you can be, even if you have to stand in a mirror and hype yourself up and be the only one who's going to pat yourself on the back and give yourself credit. Do it. Go past the sky. They say aim for the sky. Go past the sky. Reach for any goal that you have. Go for that job. Go for that man or that woman, okay? Body goals, whatever it is, vacation goals, do it. F being acknowledged. Don't worry about putting that photo on Instagram or TikTok, and don't worry about likes, okay? That stuff does not even pay us. Okay, that stuff doesn't pay us. It doesn't do anything for you. You do not need these people. Most of the people around us are spiritual losers. I did a video about spiritual losers. They're spiritual losers. that are actually seeking our validation or trying to feed off of our energy. All right. And I'm telling you, I'm to that place. It's like I do still want to be validated sometimes as human, but right now I am past a lot of that energy in that stage where I'm like, I don't give a F what you say. If I do get upset about what someone says, it's because it's not that I kind of want to defend myself because I didn't defend myself before. And this happens to a lot of us chosen ones where we go our whole life being silenced. We go our whole life not having that validation so that when somebody does say something to us and they try to discredit us, we're like, what? What? I'm on my grind. I'm doing me. I got this together. I got. Listen, trust me. You know, I told y'all the story about my male friend who said to me, like, oh, you don't deserve an entrepreneur man because you're not really an entrepreneur, you know, and that comment made me want to slap the shit out of him if he was in front of me because it's like, you cannot invalidate me. Like, I give myself validation. Who the hell are you to tell me I am not something when I have a resume? You know, but you're going to get a lot of that. And when you think back to the comments that people say to you, it's really because you intimidate them. That's something that they find powerful about you. Okay, whatever they attack first is what they find powerful about you, pretty much, you know. But you have to get used to when you're the chosen one, you have to get used to not getting the credit, not getting the validation from others, okay? And it is tough because you see everyone else around you being celebrated. It can even be your birthday. People will purposely not show up to your birthday party, not give you gifts, not even say happy birthday to you on social media. They're going to do this. Don't fall into the trap of this emotional cycle. Don't do it. You're just not going to get that validation. You have to validate yourself. Um, it doesn't matter. Like anything that's important to you. All right. I told y'all the story before. Maybe, you know, a lot of chosen ones who are on my videos now. You know, in 2016, I had a surgery on my uterus. I was in the hospital for 2 days by myself. And I text my brother to pick me up after surgery, and he did not. You know, these are things that are going to happen. But then when he had something done to his prostate, he texted me talking about, oh, I've been in the hospital for 2 days. What? Are you stupid? Like, this type of things are going to happen to you. They do not care if you're in the hospital. They don't care if you're sick. They don't care if you're on your deathbed. If it has nothing to do with them, they do not care. It's almost like you're superhuman or something. They don't give you validation. They don't give you credit. They don't give you help. They don't give you acknowledgement. None of that shit. None of it. You know, the other day, I was talking to a friend about something very important that's coming up in my life. And she literally, in the middle of my sentence, changed the subject. This happens all the time to chosen ones. You can be like, yeah, my due date. My due date is, you know, May 15th. You could be having a baby. You could be getting married. And they will literally change the subject in the middle of a sentence. Anything that's happening in their life is all that's important. That's it. She just changed the subject. Was like, yeah, girl, so yeah, I'm moving on Monday and da 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 da. And I'm like, and what I was talking about was like way more severe than her moving in into her apartment. And it was crazy because We already talked about her apartment for like a whole month. Like, we already talked about that. I already gave you a validation. We talked about your furniture. We talked about how you were going to move. Like, she literally just interjected the conversation and started talking about her moving in her apartment. But when it came time for me to talk about something that is coming up in my life that's like life or death, she interrupted it talking about her apartment again after we talked about it 1,000 times. This is going to happen. They're going to do that. Interjecting into conversations, changing. I'm talking about you're in mid sentence. They do not care. They don't care. Anything, good things can happen to them, but they cannot happen to you. Okay? They cannot happen to you. I had cut off a friend. What was it? I think it was about 2019. This girl, you know, whenever it's like her kids' birthday parties and her wedding was coming up or something was coming up, it's just like, oh, you better make time. Like, it's my kid's birthday party. What do you mean you're going on another vacation? Like, you can't put a pause on your vacation and come to my baby shower? It'll be stuff like that, and it's like, are you freaking serious? This is what they do. They don't give up about you. They do not care. They do not care. It's all about them. But the sooner the chosen one gives themselves validation, they'll be okay. All right? Sorry, guys, that y'all don't get the credit and the validation. And honestly, strangers will give it to you before your loved ones will give it to you. Okay? Don't forget to donate and don't forget to book your phone sessions with me. Um, and I'll be doing a video again soon. All right. Love and light. Have an amazing week.